Do you ever feel like the odds are stacked against you? Like everyone and everything is working against you? Well, the people of Israel certainly felt that way. For 18 long years, they were under the heavy hand of King Eglon of Moab. They were weary and burdened by his oppressive rule, and they cried out to God for deliverance. But the answer to their prayer didn't come in the way they expected. It came through a man named Ehud, and Ehud was just a simple man from the tribe of Benjamin. He wasn't a warrior or a king, he was just a regular guy. But God had something special in mind for him. You see, Ehud was left-handed. Now, in those days, warriors were trained to fight with their right hand. So being left-handed was seen as a weakness. But God was about to turn that perceived weakness into Ehud's greatest strength. He was chosen to deliver tribute, payment from Israel, to King Eglon. But before he went, he made a double-edged sword, 1.5 feet long, and strapped it to his right thigh, under his clothes. The guards would never think to look there. When he presented the tribute to King Eglon, he said, "I have a secret message for you, my king." The king, curious, dismissed his attendants and sent them away. That's when Ehud made his move. With his left hand, he reached over, drew the sword, and struck down the king. The Bible even tells us how deep the sword sank. It says, the sword passed between his armor, and the hilt came out at his back. In other words, the king was so big, and the sword so small, that the whole handle disappeared inside of him. Ehud didn't hang around to find out. He left the sword in the king and locked the doors behind him. As he made his way back to Israel, the king's servants found him and realized what had happened. But it was too late. By the time they got the doors open, Ehud had already rallied the people of Israel and led them to victory over the Moabites. The Bible tells us that after that, the land had rest for 80 years. Friends, what does Ehud's story teach us? It shows us that what others see as our weakness, God can use as our strength. You see, in a world that often celebrates the strong and the mighty, it's easy to feel like we don't measure up. We may feel like we don't have what it takes to succeed or to make a difference. But God doesn't call us to be strong in our own power. He calls us to be strong in His. So, if you ever feel like you're not good enough, or that you don't have what it takes, remember Ehud. Remember that it's not your strength that matters most, but your faith in the one who said, "With men, this is impossible, but with God, all things are possible."